Well, jolly good morning to you. Welcome to our Daily Timothy Time. My name is Carl, and it's Tuesday, 16th of February 2021 already, and episode 207 in the lineage of our Daily Timothy Time. Glad that you can join us. We're back reading the book of Daniel. We're in chapter 6, and we're going to close out. Hopefully, we're going to make it to the end of the chapter today. I just want to say this. Chapters 1 to 6 make up the first half of the book of Daniel. The next time you read, we'll be going into the prophetic side, which is 7 through 12. That's really, really interesting. There's some stuff there when we get to study it out there that is absolutely mind-boggling. It's a really good study. I hope that you stick around and you see the study through with us in the book of Daniel. Anyway, we're in Daniel chapter 6. We're going to read from verse 15, just a bit of an overview. There's some header notes here in this old John Brown Bible. It's a King James version, but John Brown was from Scotland, Haddington. If you've ever been to Scotland and you know the lay of the land, in his notes here he says Daniel is made. This is like how it is in the chapter. Verse 1, Daniel was made chief of the presidents. Verse 4, they conspiring against him obtain an idolatrous decree. Verse 10, Daniel, accused of the breach thereof, is cast into the lion's den. Verse 18, where we're going to be today, Daniel is saved. Verse 24, his adversaries devoured. And I want to say a little bit more on that when we get there. Verse 25, and God magnified by decree. It's always beautiful to read what saints 100, 150, 200 years ago, what they were thinking about these certain books in the Bible. Very interesting. I wouldn't say I believe absolutely everything I read in this Bible, when it comes to the footnotes, but it is interesting nonetheless. Let's get into the read. Verse 15. Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is, that no decree nor statute which the king establish may be changed. Then the king commanded and brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said to Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. Sure, isn't that confidence? Isn't that a bold statement from a Gentile? Well, let's read on. Verse 17, and a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. So once Dan was in there, that was good night Irene, according to a human viewpoint. Okay. Anyway, reading on, verse 18, then the king went to his palace and passed a night fasting. Neither were there instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Quick note here: music. If you look in the King James Bible, it's spelt unique. It's a different spelling. If you go to most all of the modern versions, they don't spell it the same. And that's the beauty about this King James Bible. When it says music there, it's talking about stringed instruments. Like you've just seen me play on the guitar. Now imagine going back to that time ago in time past, and the king would have had stringed instruments being played for him. Okay. This King James Bible, those 47 translators that put the words that translated for us, well, only if you get involved in your King James Bible and you read, can you start to see, can I say the beauty of how the translators translated? Wonderful thing to see. Anyway, let's move on. Verse 19, then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, Is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions? Then Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel, and has shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. Forasmuch as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. This is all about believing, eh? Now, you must understand, in this dispensation of grace, God doesn't function this way today. So just keep that in mind, but we'll study that when we get there. Now, verse 24. Now, verse 24, I just look at the current situation over, I'm not American, but if I look at the United States of America, this recent impeachment trial against President Trump, I wish those folks would read this and see how kings of old dealt with people when they were caught out. Verse 24, and the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and had them cast into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives, and the lions had mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. Verse 25, then the king wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth. Who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions? So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Gentle listeners, time's up for today. We finished a chapter. We're going to get into chapter 7 next time we meet around Daniel. And this gets into the second part of the book of Daniel. This is going to get good now. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, thanks for clicking on and giving us a view. We'll catch up tomorrow with Romans chapter 1, verse 1. Till then, Maranatha. Maranatha, folks.